So what are Jews supposed to be doing more?
We'll be watching him very carefully. Anything he does that's hostile to Israel or Jews, we'll be publicly condemning him. We'll be writing op-eds. We're putting out press releases. We'll go on TV and radio like your show and condemn him and try to pressure him. And we'll be urging other Jewish groups to do the same. And we'll be urging churches to do the same. Because Muslims, these radical Muslims not only hate Jews, they hate Christians. The Quran teaches them to hate any non-Muslims. So we're going to make that clear to the non-Muslim community in New York to join us to condemn him and point out anything he's doing to put pressure on him and expose him. And we'll also be talking, and we're already talking to people at the New York Post, New York Times, to make sure we're monitoring that they should be exposing any problems he's causing for the Jewish community. The Jewish community is almost 15% of New York City's population, almost 15%. It's a very important constituency. So that's what we're doing. And of course, to help us do it better, I hope people will consider joining ZOA or go to our website, ZOA.org, ZOA.org. You'll learn about all the things that we're doing with respect to this guy.
What do you make of the fact that the ADL says they're also going to be monitoring him?
Yes. Well, ADL, we have not been happy with their weak stands they've had against terrorism and against Jew hatred and against Islamic anti-Semitism. So I hope they'll help with this. But in the past, they have been a disappointment in fighting for Jewish people and for the Jewish state of Israel.
What other recourse do we have if he's going to try to limit companies, or the Israel bonds? They're going to try to stop buying Israel bonds and punish companies that do business with Israel. Is there any legal response that the ZOA or any other groups can be doing?
We're going to be lobbying city council members and urging them to not support this. This has to go through city council. We're going to be urging city council members. Unfortunately, they're quite left-wing in New York, but we're going to try our best with them and with members of Congress to speak out. If people speak out in condemning him, if he's doing these heinous things toward Jews, it'll make it much harder from trying to get it done. And we hope in the election coming up, we hope we'll have somebody winning in 2026 for governor who will be a strong supporter of Israel and the Jewish people.
What about making alliances? As you pointed out, New York is a changing place. I think it's you have over 1 million Muslims. You have, I think, 16% is Chinese. New York has changed. Should we be making alliances with different groups?
You are quite right. Of course, we should make alliances. We've tried. It's not so easy. Some of these groups, the Asian people have been hostile to Israel. They believed that we meet with their leaders, and they believe the lies of genocide, that Israel's committing genocide. What a lie. It is the Arabs and Hamas that's trying to commit genocide against the Jews. They believe the lies that we stole Arab land. They're trying to steal Jewish land. They believe the lies about famine, that Israel is starving the Arabs, a complete and utter incredible lie. So it's very hard because the media has not pushed back and exposed these lies. They simply report it, that this Arab says there's genocide. And also they keep hearing in the rallies, genocide, 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 and it starts to sink in. Goebbels said if you repeat a lie often enough, it'll be believed even if it's completely false. Yes, but we're trying to make alliances with non-Jews in the community to help us.
Important. Now, we had a tremendous amount of Jewish unity, Mort, before the election. You had about almost, 1,200 rabbis sign a letter that protesting Mamdani. We had about 75,000 Jews registered to vote. What can we do? We have to keep that unity going.
Too little, too late, Zev. 2 weeks before the election? Where were they 2 months ago? Why weren't they doing something 2 months ago? And look, I'm glad they did it, but they did this when lots of the votes had already come in with the mailing ballots. And who was leading this? Somebody who wasn't very fervent. In fact, his name, I forget his name, from one of the big synagogues, Cosgrove.
Rabbi Cosgrove came out from the Park Avenue Synagogue just the other week.
Elliot Cosgrove, let me tell you about Elliot Cosgrove. People asked him to invite me to come and speak at a synagogue. He said, I'm not inviting Mort Klein until I meet him. You got to look, I don't charge. There's no money here. He comes to my office. This is a few months ago. He said, people want you to speak. I want to talk to you. and he becomes upset when I tell him I oppose the Palestinian state. He says to me, I will let you speak at my synagogue if you publicly write an article supporting a Palestinian state. He said, otherwise, I won't let you speak there. This is Elliot Cosgrove. I am required to support a Palestinian state, even though the Prime Minister of Israel opposes it, 75% of the Israelis oppose it, and this is the demand he makes. I'll tell you, that demand, the Arabs are thrilled with that demand, right? Hamas and Hezbollah are thrilled with that demand.
So considering that his congregation might be more to the left, so the fact that he opposed Mamdani is a big thing.
No, I don't give any credit for somebody opposing a Jew opposing him. This is a vicious anti-Semite Israel hater. I'm going to give credit for that? I don't think so.
But
no.
look how hard it was. Listen, to get 1,200 signatures of Reform, Conservative, and Orthodox. Orthodox, yes. Conservative and Reform is much more difficult for them to come out and speak.
Jewish people throughout history, including now, are afraid that if we take a stand against our enemies, it'll make it worse. So that is a reason for the fear of signing on to such things. We have just a general fear because of our history of persecution and anti-Semitism and pogroms and Holocausts. We have a great fear. So I'm glad that they came out with this, but it was, as we saw, it was too little, too late. They should have done this months ago. And
the problem is nobody was leading the charge. Somebody has to organize it, and the fact that it took place is a miracle because you need people.
The thing is, Jewish organizations couldn't do this because we are all 501c3 nonprofits. We're not allowed to take a stand supporting or opposing any candidate. That's why I couldn't speak out about it. But the rabbis, the synagogues and churches are allowed to speak out.
That's only of recent vintage that they're allowed to do so.
You know the issues. You are quite right. It's only recent. That's quite right.
And they're not comfortable. I don't think the rabbis yet are comfortable talking politics. That's the impression I have. Maybe it's going to change, but I know it's something which they're approaching cautiously.
How can you be uncomfortable opposing a rabid Jew-hating Israel basher?
Don't get me wrong. I have no problem speaking out. I have, but I'm saying a lot of the rabbis from non-Orthodox synagogues might be reticent to speak out. But I think that's changing, hopefully.
Well, we shall see. This was the time when you had this was a black and white issue. This guy was a monster. And we should have had, you said 1,200. There's 3,500 rabbis in the country. So they only got a third.
Well, what's the start? Because that's amazing they even got this much. Now, let me ask this. Will you be going to the Mamdani Hanukkah party? I'm sure he's going to have a Hanukkah party, but no Israeli Day Parade.
He's publicly said he will not march in the Israeli Day Parade. There's no question he won't have a Hanukkah party.
Oh, I think he will. I think he's making a distinction more between Jewish and Israel. I believe he will have a Hanukkah party, Jewish heritage, but no Israeli Day Parade. And you
will not see me eating any Hanukkah food at his party.
Okay, I'm just. That's my prediction that he's trying to drive that wedge.
Maybe you're right.
And on the right, we'll find listen, Marjorie Taylor Greene also the same thing. She says, "I like Jews, but I don't like Bibi Netanyahu. I don't like what Israel's doing." You're seeing that it's a new trend of anti-Semitism where they're trying to differentiate between Israel and Jews. You can't do it, but they're trying to. This is the new wave.
Well, you have to tell them if you oppose Italy as a state, you obviously hate Italians. If you oppose Mexican, it shouldn't be a Mexican state. Obviously, you hate Mexicans. And if you oppose the Jewish state, obviously you hate Jews. There's no distinctions. To oppose the Jewish state is opposing Jews.
Oh, I agree, but I'm just saying.
By the way, these people who are condemning Israel, do they condemn the Palestinian Authority? They condemn Saudi Arabia, Iran, Qatar. They don't condemn any of these vicious dictatorships with human rights abusers. They don't say a word.
Look at Hamas. Hamas is killing their own people once Israel pulled out. Does anybody say that they're killing innocent Palestinians? Nobody says that.
That's the proof that it's anti-Semitism. That when you only attack, the only country in the world you publicly attack is Israel, when other countries are true human rights abusers, and you say nothing, you're pointing the finger at Israel because it's filled with Jews.
Absolutely correct. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, you like our programs, please like and subscribe as it helps the channel get these important conversations out there to a larger audience. So please become a supporter of TalkLine with Sev Brenner by liking us, by supporting us, and telling all your friends to watch. Thank you.